Most myths today will say that the dinosaurs died over the long period of 165 million years as per the internet, and that they died exactly 66 million years ago. But of course, this is not true. The numbers were just thrown around, completely guesstimated. It would be like me guessing the number of the stars when I go to my backyard to have a cigar. Like, it's just not gonna happen. There's no evidence of that. The dinosaurs did not die in 66 million years ago and 165 million years. That whole stretch, that's completely made up. That's just estimated. The dinosaurs themselves, the story we hear that they were killed by a meteor, an unknown meteor that fell from the sky, that definitely is mainly true, yes. There's some missing aspects to that particular story. A few very, very important interstellar pieces of information, galactic pieces of information that we cannot get anywhere on the internet or even in schools. And speaking of schools, when we look at universities and colleges and all the students, or even private night school courses, private courses that people go to, or even picking up a book, they're not going to really find this kind of information. All they're going to find out the fossil information of these extinct animals, so dinosaurs, lizards, reptiles, fish, birds, mammals, even microbes. Microbes are actually even studied in these courses. And they're going to be told the very same story that even our children will be told in schools, and that we're told right now, is that somehow this meteor fell and killed everything and everyone, and took hundreds of millions of years. And but this misinformation goes on and on and on. But the unfortunate part is that it gets forwarded to another generation, so from generation to generation. No one looks at the fact that out of all the dinosaurs that died, we've discovered less than 0.1%. We know nothing about them. Nothing in any way. We found some bones. So 42 dinosaurs were found in 2021, meaning nothing. On average, 45 dinosaurs are found every year, starting from 2003, meaning nothing. So if I look at the math, that's about 810. That means 810 fossils were found out of 800 million dinosaurs that died. That percentage is less than 1%. That's just, I mean, it's ludicrous to just estimate these foolish numbers based on picking up some bones. The researchers and scientists, even religions to this day, they cannot properly address, they cannot provide the information. Where did the dinosaurs come from? How many races of dinosaurs were there? So how many different origins? How many different DNA contributions? What's the total number of deaths? What region in the world housed or had most dinosaurs? Because dinosaurs were not from Earth. We know that. They didn't just come here. They didn't pop from the sky. Somebody brought them here. And they don't have our human DNA. Humans are multidimensional. We have multidimensional DNA. We have contributions of different DNA within our DNA. We're a hybrid race. So we didn't make them. So who created them here, really? So the human perspective on dinosaurs that's lingering around, and we see this on the internet, yeah, it's okay, I guess, but no one's really dabbing and tapping and digging and researching those interstellar pieces of information. That's the true aspect to find out what happened to the dinosaurs. The two closest researchers was a father and son, the Alvarez family. And in 1980, they proposed an idea that a meteor did hit the Earth, of course, 6 million years ago, and filled the atmosphere with gas and dust and debris that drastically altered the climate. And all based on their main piece of evidence, really, which I agree with, and that was a very high number of a metal called iridium, which was found there, that they found on the site in Mexico. But they also found out, and which is true, that this particular metal is not really from Earth. We can't find it here. We can't walk into a bank and say, yeah, let me get a pound of iridium, like we can buy bricks and pieces of gold and silver and other precious stones. Every bank sells precious stones. So the Alvarez family, so the father and son and the other members of the family that were not in the public eye, they were definitely correct. They were definitely correct to conclude that the mass extinction did occur, and it was caused by an extraterrestrial object, which they stated in their report, extraterrestrial object. Obviously, it's not from Earth. So it wasn't created here. It didn't pop out of a soil, just like pyramids don't pop out of a soil. Someone had to make them. The dinosaurs themselves did not really die from volcanoes or floods that this impact created. The main problem is that the impact has created a tremendous amount of genocide within minutes. So all the researchers that are saying that a soul flood flooded all the dinosaurs, not true. They said that the Sol volcano flooded all the dinosaurs. That's also not true. That's not how they died. Volcanoes have actually nothing to do with it. Volcano is a live consciousness, and it wouldn't have created that when it comes to the consciousness and consciousnesses. The consciousness of the dinosaurs were very much alive. They were targeted and they were killed by a fifth density humanoid Pleiadian race from Tikrit. And all the dinosaurs at that time had pure draconian DNA, absolute pure draconian DNA, hence their appearances, of course, to look like draconians. Mass size, powerful muscles, the teeth, the eyes, the whole look, the whole appearance. And the humanoid race from Tikrit, they really knew that. They knew that, and they really hated the draconians for whatever reason, because the draconians solely created the dinosaurs on Earth over a very long period of time, of course. But their DNA was inserted into the dinosaurs, just like their DNA is inserted into Earth-based reptilians, another population of 800 million. So when we look at Draconian and the Alpha Draconian Empire and all the races within it and all the sub-races, these guys are the ultimate geneticists. These guys are the ultimate in technology. They're ultimate in cloning consciousness. I mean, they're the most feared empire within our galaxy. So they created over a long period of time, 700 to just close to 800 million of these dinosaurs. And all of these species of dinosaurs on Earth, they lived in peace. They didn't bother anybody. I mean, majority of them didn't even kill each other. Let's forget what Hollywood says. They never bothered anybody. They were very, very loving, compassionate, kind, peaceful beings. They existed in peace and unity, something we don't see in the world today. And the killing of these dinosaurs was directly done by the humanoid, fifth density Pleiadian race that come from Tikrit. There's about 250 races there. They hated draconians. They hated the entire Draco system, really. The entire empire. So they didn't really care for the draconians to be spreading their DNA throughout the universe, throughout the galaxy. I mean, they hated that aspect too. They just really targeted the Draco system. They did not care that incredible and unique DNA and the DNA patterns were inserted into these dinosaurs. I mean, this was like a magnificent creation. Just to look at a dinosaur, it's just incredible. I found them fascinating. They didn't care for any of this. They were extremely malevolent. They were extremely selfish. And that's exactly what they did. They targeted these innocent, loving beings, these dinosaurs, and wanted to kill them all, and they did. And these humanoids from Tikrit, whose gravitational energy is between the star Tikrit and the star Electra, where the Sasquatch race really originates from, they come from a dual star system, these guys. And it's a very, very small star, so it's where humanoid races lived there at that time, where they lived in that particular region. And they were the ones really that attacked these dinosaurs for no reason. And the command was given by the council to do that. It wasn't a particular entity. And they attacked the Mexico region, the main headquarters, the biggest area of dinosaurs, Yucatan Peninsula region, which is really in the southeast Mexico. So when they created that, so this Caribbean Sea area, when they created this genocide, this was really enough to destroy just over 85% of all of the dinosaurs on Earth. Simply because majority of the dinosaurs were what we would call today Mexico, United States, and Canada, particularly Mexico, Colombia, Brazil, and those areas. So before the attack itself, the birds, the lizards, and the dinosaurs, they were really leaving their second density through the enhancement of the DNA. And as they started growing to the third density beings, as their soul evolved, so souls evolve obviously, that's what the incarnation is for, in these smaller sections with them, the entities that were Pleiadian, these humanoid guys, they used a particular technology. And technology wasn't a nuclear weapon, energy weapon, it wasn't a laser, it wasn't a bomb, it wasn't anything like that. It wasn't activating volcanoes, and it was not activating tsunamis or floods. What they've done is they use a particular very advanced extraterrestrial, fifth density, kinetic energy type of technology that they would collect off-planet rocks and combine them together and then create a mass bomb or a mass rock that would appear to be a meteor. So all these rocks were collected together, impacted really, really together. These rocks, this material was put together as one projectile, one large projectile, compressed tightly, so extremely hard, extremely unbreakable. It would be to think almost if we look at granite and have some kind of an advanced granite that we humans don't have. Well, these guys had those kind of rocks. So it was really a mix of stone, rock, carbon, as well as the granite. And this object, this one object, is exactly what hit the largest dinosaur location in Mexico, and that's the southeast Mexico region. And this race from Tikrit, this Pleiadian race, also inserted their own psychic energy. They inserted their own races' energy, their technology, and they inserted this entire Palladian energy into the rock to appear as a meteor, of course, to make it harder, faster, to cloak it as a meteor, but to make sure that it travels extremely fast. And it did travel fast. 1,500 miles per hour was the actual speed. It was the speed upon impact. In the Yucatan Peninsula region, or the Gulf of Mexico, of course, regardless how we look at it, that's the region. We could Google it today. And he created a mass impact that not only did it instantly kill the entire population of dinosaur, what we would call North America or even South America. It killed everybody instantly, but it killed everything else in the surrounding regions. He created an earthquake. He created other deaths, so additional animals died that were much further away. Fish died, birds in the sky died. All of the trees were completely crushed and cut and destroyed, just like if a lightning hit a tree. Created massive floods, massive tsunamis. So this was a global genocide that occurred. It was completely unprovoked. And the reason why this entire thing happened is the very same reason why many reptilian races, many, if not most of the reptilian races that were in the second density or about to leave their second density into the third density where humans are at, to graduate on to the next density because of the soul involvement, they were given the genetics by the draconians. And they were also killed instantly and unfairly. Earth-based reptilians will kill too. Anything really that's reptilian-wise was targeted at that time by races that disliked the draconian empire. So this humanoid race from Ticker, they definitely went out of their way to let their hate be known. And unfortunately, they were responsible for that. They thought at that time, based on interstellar intelligence, that they would get away with it. The draconian family does not forgive or forget things. They don't understand what compassion is or forgiveness, rightfully so. So basically, they came back in a very short amount of time. They brought every craft that they had. They put together three of their main war races, and they basically came down and did what they needed to do and pay back for the extinction of their entire second density race on Earth. And they destroyed the entire Tikrit. They wiped that planet clean completely. In relation to the changes of the environment on Earth, I mean, it did create mass floods and tsunamis and heavy pollution in the air too, so a lot of innocent birds have died. Radiation from the fallen rocks also, because they were not Earth-based. Inability to hunt, not to find food, and because of all of these problems, the survivors or the surviving dinosaurs across the world, they slowly started to die. All the creeks were polluted, waters and oceans were polluted, so they couldn't even hunt anything. There was no crops to eat, there was no trees to eat or to climb and to catch anything. So this created bad energy on Earth. And a lot of these wounded dinosaurs, they died of their injuries, really, and some of them did drown also. A lot of them are still being found in the ocean, but it's not disclosed on the internet. So these amazing, beautiful, stunning creatures disappeared very quickly. I mean, I personally cannot even comprehend. I can understand in English, but I cannot comprehend the amount of cries and agony and pain and suffering of 800 million beings being targeted. I mean, I came from a war. I'm an Eastern European war survivor. I came to Canada as a refugee, but I still cannot understand. I mean, the innocent, peaceful beings being destroyed so fast, completely unprovoked. And the first group of them that did die instantly, which is over 85% because of the impact itself, but also in the surrounding regions. So today's America, United States of America, and Canada, Alaska, Cuba, Dominican Republic, Brazil, Mexico, it all died within a week. They're all without. The third layer of them that died within approximately 3 months, maximum 4 months. The fourth layer died within the first year, and the fifth and final layer, which were in China and Russia and those regions, they did die just under 5 years. Majority of them that died across the ocean was in China and in Europe. So in conclusion, you have 95, 98% to about that approximately of the dinosaurs that died. They'll never come back. And that's completely unfortunate. I mean, I love animals, but I mean, it's never gonna come back. Some of them that did survive, 2-3%, they did die because of their own natural incarnation cycle. And this brought millions and millions of incarnation souls or incarnation consciousnesses back to the Draco system. which was a good thing for the draconians, of course. But it's unfortunate that this whole thing occurred, in my opinion. So one of the good things about this entire story or this entire event that I personally find extremely satisfying to learn, to verify that I know it's for a fact is true, is that the Alpha Draconian Empire, really took this personal. It wasn't just eye for an eye, it was eye for two eyes. So they royally paid back this race, rightfully so. Exactly what I think should be done, what anyone should do, what I would do. But this race no longer exists. Dust exists on their planet, but that's about it. And everyone in that area, particularly around Electra, in surrounding regions in this dual star system, they really know what happened, and ever since there's been no interference from that region towards the Alpha Draconian Empire. And there won't be from my research and from my experience with the Alpha Draconians. Total of 26 million beings from Tikrit were killed, and it's just another one of the thousands and thousands of examples, really authentic interstellar stories and real war stories that everyone understands, and everyone should know that the most dominant system in our galaxy are the races that come from the Draco or Draconian system, or the Draconis Alpha Draconian Empire. There's 20 or so races directly affiliated with the Draconian system, and approximately a few hundred that are semi-affiliated, but they all act as one family. Most humans will misrepresent them, will speak negatively against them. It's just because they're not even strong enough to hold that powerful reptilian energy. And I've had the pleasure and the opportunity to work with the draconians in the astral human extraterrestrial programs on behalf of the Theta Tauri race, and they are extremely dominant, very, very powerful, extremely sharp, precise. They have no compassion or sympathy for nothing except honor and prideful actions. So this entire story, it's a wonderful story, I feel, for all of the researchers of ancient wars, ancient galactic wars, to really find out who killed the dinosaurs, why, and what race, and what was the reason. And in this reason, we see it's the very same reason that all the wars happen over stupid things, religions and land and power. And in this case, it was just one race not liking another race based on their appearances. So tremendous amount of judgment right there.